lot's happened since I last updated the series with Darkwing Blast and Magnificent Mavens, but there's a lot of cards that I'm getting. First one is a third Suitlek. I don't know if I'll play this, but I probably should just have one just in case. 3 Grief, because it's just kind of a foolish burial for the deck that can be played at 3. Its effect Engrave isn't good, but its foolish burial effect is really, really good. 3 Scream, because it can search this, which is good, and it has a fine effect on field. And then 3 Foolish Burial Goods, because it can practically add anything. Because it can add a monster by sending this, and it can add a trap by sending this, so it can add this. So it's a nice, simple play that makes a lot more of the deck searchable, makes the deck really, really consistent. And the last card is the secret rare from Dark Green Blast, Ruler Kalos. This card is kind of broken in its effect and is just kind of busted for the deck. It just makes everything indestructible to battle. So that's it for the cards. I'll put the price on screen, but I think we have nothing. So I'll show you a deck profile right now. So I've decided to do the deck profile on here now, just because it's generally a bit easier for me to format it out and you can see everything. I won't keep it this way, I'll just do it like this every once in a while, just so you can get a good overview of the deck. I'll start with the monsters. We're playing 1 Shadow Beast, 3 Shiren, 2 Alubas, 2 Albazes. I cut down Aluba because the deck does have a lot of contents with the Jarlment and the Despia stuff. And you only really need 2 Aluba because it is searchable off a Tragedy. 1 Springhound's Kit. 3 Supreme Seamare. 1 Raz Disciple. 1 Mercuria. 3 Hovness. 3 Merly. And 2 Tragedy to search Aluba or to banish to reset a branded spell trap, which that effect definitely does come up in this deck. 1 Instant Fusion. 3 Grief. I really want to get to the tier names as fast as possible. 3 Foolish Burial Goods, 3 Brand Fusion. Goods can send Scream to search Sulek, or send Sulek to search a tier name. 3 Brand Fusion, really, really good card. 1 Gold Sark, 1 Foolish, 1 Prosby, 1 Call By, 1 Scream, 1 Loss, 1 Separation, 2 Salic, and 1 Crime. Crime does come up sometimes. For the extra deck, 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Ludicrous, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Dragon's Trapelia, 2 Lubellion, 1 Masquerade, 1 Brinkrand, 1 Titanic, 2 Albions, 1 Kid Kalos, 1 Winder, and 1 Abyss Dweller, because you can occasionally make it. For the extra deck, it's overall fairly solid. There's a lot of fusion options. It's just kind of accessing them as soon as possible. For the side, we have 3 Medium, 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Dark Ruler No More, 1 Super Poly, 3 Dimensional Barrier, and 2 Crackdown. I'm fairly happy with the side deck so far, but I do think it does need like a lot of work and kind of like a general slow improvement. So that's the deck. Now I can actually show some of the games with it. Right, game number 1. So this replay I'm showing because it's very funny. And sometimes it's just good to see something funny rather than just a genuine competitive game. They're playing Burn. And a very interesting version of Burn. I don't know whether they're a new player or using old cards or only spell and trap cards, but it certainly is interesting to see what they're playing. So we make Masquerade. Use Kid Kalos, bring back Merly, mill 8. Standard stuff, milling a beast. Milling Chainlink 4. Pretty good. Actually making the new boss, Ruler Kalos, as it's been revealed. Branded Fusioning for a Lubellion, and triggering Merly, fusing Merly to make Shadar Winder, and then fusing the Bellion away to make Mirror Jade, setting 2 and passing. This is a pretty strong end board. Not much can get past this unless you have Dark Will and no more. They use Chamber of Nightmare, Cauldron of the Old Man to burn, which has burned them more than me, which is very interesting. And in one turn, I would get to add Thespian Tragedy to my hand. We inflict some damage to them. We negate their effect with Crime. They Gravesdigger's Trap Hole, and Rivalry of Warlords. We just declare Aqua because it's easier. And interestingly enough, we just straight up just have game on field. And that is game number 1. Game number 2, they're going first, and I don't want to start off with their perspective. They activate 3 chain energies, which is a full combo for chain burn. So we have to pay 1,500 life points to play any card from our hand, which is very interesting because we do play out of the graveyard a lot. So once we've got our play started, we really don't need our hand anymore. But we have burned ourselves for over half our life points, so this is burn full combo. And they do have the Skull Invitation to deal with our mill strategies, so I just aim to get as much damage on field as possible, going in for 18, 18, and 23. So they can't activate anything from their hand because it will burn them to death. Except for the fact that we kill them due to the ectoplasm. And that's the game. So I'm going to take this moment of time just to kind of quickly reflect on how we did today, because we finally broke even with our match win to losses at 18-18, which is 46. No, it's not. It's 36 matches in total, which is a lot. But yeah, the other 2 games, or matches rather, that I played in this episode were against Ishizute, which we lost because we do not have the Ishizute cards, and I did not realize how great they are, and I also did not realize their price tag. And Branded Predaplant, which is a deck I really, really like, but I don't think can really keep up in the current metagame without kind of serious blowouts, such as like Super Poly and really good like control tools. There are ways that it can compete, but it definitely needs more powerhouses in the deck, which I'd love to see it because I really, really love Predaplants. Yeah, we still have a lot of losses compared to wins, but Rule of Kalos, it's an insane card, but I'm going to keep it fairly short. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.